Peak video game graphics were achieved almost 10 years ago with the advent of Arkham Knight. Stop trying to make graphics look better than this, and instead, focus on improving the actual guts of the game, because that has infinite room for growth. NPC IQ levels affect immersion like steroids affect nutsack size. Have bonehead NPC AI and you get a cheap feeling game that doesn't arouse experimentation or interaction with the NPCs and the world around you in general. You know there are no interesting emergent events that can occur. You know there's nothing interesting that can happen since everybody has the IQ of a walnut. Have smart AI and everything becomes that much more exciting. Combat encounters become more challenging and dynamic. The goons flank you. They hear when you're out of ammo. They notice patterns in your gameplay and adapt accordingly. They taunt you. They express distress when their fellow NPC bozos get obliterated via big-ass pump gauge blast to the noggin. Now you're motivated to experiment with NPCs to see how they react to you and the environment. You want to see what emergent events it can lead to, and even if nothing comes of it, it's still fun to experiment with and adds aura and immersion to the game. It's an area that has so much potential for making games more interactive and pushing the medium forward. We're already at peak video game graphics, while the NPC AI is still in its primitive stages. We saw a taste of what could be with civilian NPCs in Red Dead Redemption 2, and enemy NPCs in The Last of Us Part 2, but no other game since has delivered comparable AI quality. But they have delivered shiny graphics that you can drool over like a donkey. Instead of shinier graphics, we could also use more interesting level design. Every game feels the same. Walk into this room, annihilate everybody, loot the place, rinse and repeat. Give us something creative like in Dishonored 2 with its magical handheld heart technological device that lets you leap between past and present at will. Do some hallucinogenic, dreamlike shenanigans like the Arkham games where you turn around and the whole environment changes. Or when it tricks you into thinking your expensive new console short-circuited when it was really just Scarecrow's toxic fear gas all along. Do something creative that activates dormant areas of the gamer's brain. And the oomph. How do I articulate the enigmatic oomph? It's the mix of audio and visual feedback in the gameplay mechanics that elicits the release of dopamine in the brain. It's when you reload your gun and hear crispy clacks. It's when you shoot the .5 Magnum and the shit kicks back like a horse. It's when you grip a baseball bat between your fists and swing it like a motherfucker into a goon's big-ass head, hitting a home run, if you will. It's when you open a chest and feel the weight of the lid and hear the scrape of the stone on the pavement when it's dropped. It's when you walk and see your footsteps deform the sand or snow below, with satisfying pit-pat sounds with each step to and fro. It's when you can see and feel that your hits are actually dealing damage to the enemy, because they flinch and react accordingly. Your bullets feel like they rip through meat and bone. The oomph creates a sense of tactile satisfaction. It adds a sense of groundedness and weight to the game. Now, interesting stories and characters have been lacking in AAA games since the inception of the medium. Most have slop storylines with characters that seem more like cardboard cutouts rather than actual people you care about. It's one of the reasons why games like The Last of Us created a ripple in the gaming space-time continuum. A ripple that hasn't been sealed since, because only a handful of games since have delivered characters and narratives that make you give at least half a damn. Excelling in this department is critical because it is the soul of the AAA game. It's what creates a, for lack of a less low-T term, emotional connection with what's happening on screen, and without it, you simply do not care about what's happening in the campaign. There's a sense of apathy while playing through the story, a sense of not give a fuckness, if you will, about who dies, who says what, who cares, skip, let me just get my dopamine from shooting bozos and then forget about the game and never touch it again. The possibilities for great storytelling are endless in this video game medium, but for reasons that I struggle to understand. Most AAA games have narratives about as interesting as a mole on a donkey's ass. The story and characters need not be groundbreaking, they just need be not boring as all hell. But that's still as rare as finding an atheist who does not suddenly turn to God when faced with imminent castration via the dreaded Ball's guillotine. And the music. I want to hear an orchestra that can bring the dead back to life. The music needs to play during key sequences to enhance emotional beats of the story. A great music becomes synonymous with game. The Last of Us, the Arkham games, the Red Dead series, and the Uncharted games have sounds that now elicit an almost melancholic wave of emotion within the hearer's heart, and make them question how a mere mortal like themselves was able to conjure up sounds that not only arouse strong emotions within, but also capture a game's soul so accurately and poignantly. The problem here is that gaming as a whole has been stagnant for the last few years, which is puzzling because there's infinite room for growth in this medium. There are so many new things that can be done in terms of NPC interactivity, storytelling, and creative level design, but no AAA games have been innovating in any of these areas.